The last 24 hours have been tough on TARIQ Nasheed. And for those of you who know some of his history, he lived in two places that I know of in the past. That was Alabama, and he's also spent a lot of time living in the city of Detroit before moving to Los Angeles. And he still has family in the city of Detroit. And he has a nephew who I will not name right now, who was recently shot multiple times outside of his apartment complex. And at the time of revealing that, the nephew was in critical condition. Now, what TARIQ Nasheed said, that it was a young lady that he was dealing with, was supposed to meet him at his apartment, and basically the young lady's baby daddy followed her and shot his nephew. And while the nephew was in critical condition, and brother TARIQ Nasheed put that out there for some people on Twitter. However, the nephew is doing better, but this is the result of what happened. Let's play that clip from brother TARIQ.
Like at 3 a.m. out in Detroit. You know, my family's in Detroit. And my nephew, Justin, 30 years old, somebody tried to take my nephew out, man. When some old dusty ass dude, let off on my nephew when my nephew got home. And my nephew was meeting up with this old broad, and the broad's baby dad pulled up and let loose on my folks, man. So, I've been a little pissed behind that, but okay, hold on. We got white supremacists. And then this is another thing. I talked about it on my social media. And there's a lot of these little white supremacists celebrating that my relative got shot. My nephew got shot. And that's not a flex, white supremacist. That's what you white supremacists do. That's not a flex. And that doesn't really bother me. That's really not a flex, white supremacist. That's what you do. You do that all the time. You always celebrate when something weird happens to black people. That's not a flex. It's not the flex you think it is. But luckily, my nephew survived. He's in intensive care now. I put out some information about the suspect earlier. The Detroit Police Department and the detectives wanted us to not talk about the situation on social media because, number one, it's still an open investigation. The suspect is still on the loose. Also, people connected to the suspect knows what hospital my nephew is in. So his location is compromised. So the police, they're actually doing security around the clock at the hospital where he is. And I think they've had to move him around because that's somewhat compromised. So they want us to, to kind of not put stuff on social media yet. So that's why I had to take some stuff down. And I get where they're coming from, because the people connected to the suspect, they know where my folks is right now. They know where he is. So they don't want us to say too much, but I'm like, well, damn, find this dusty shit.
So guys, you've heard that, right? Brother TARIQ Nasheed has a nephew that has been shot. Somebody tried to kill his nephew. And you see what people are trying to do on social media. People are rejoicing in the fact that his nephew almost got killed. And some of those people are white supremacists, as he says. But I wanted to add on to that. Some of those people are also black. And that's what you need to understand. Let me just say this about brother TARIQ and, not being so evil towards folks. Cynthia G just lost her channel. He did roast her up, but he never wished nothing bad to happen about her, and even though when Kevin Samuels died, she did the same. Her brother died. None of us talked about her brother. TARIQ didn't talk about her brother. Corey Holcomb didn't talk about the brother. But with TARIQ Nasheed, a lot of people have been coming, talking trash, making it as if it's a great thing that his nephew got killed or almost got killed or got shot. But his nephew doesn't have anything to do with TARIQ Nasheed. TARIQ Nasheed is a public figure who is dealing with his own concepts. His nephew is not on social media, talking about anything or giving his opinion on the topics that TARIQ Nasheed is. But because people are so hateful, they will do that. And I'm going to tell you exactly why people are so hateful towards TARIQ Nasheed in the pro-black community in general. And I'm going to tell you the reason why you get this hatred from white supremacists possibly, but really from blacks. And that is because TARIQ Nasheed can get funding for what he does. people hate that about TARIQ Nasheed. His ability to raise money for his projects has a lot of people on notice. And I can tell it, I'm in the pro-black community myself. I've seen it from several different groups. And it's so hateful because of what he's able to do. You don't have to like what he does. You don't have to like the message that he preaches. But one thing that TARIQ Nasheed has done, I've never seen anybody do it. He can galvanize people to give to projects each and every time at a high level. I have never seen anybody do it like him. And that's the difference between somebody like him or an Umar Johnson or anybody else. Consistently, he can get funding from inside his community at all cases, at all times, right? He always has people who will support what he does. He's probably made a lot of money selling his Hidden Colors documentaries and things like that. But people don't like that, man. People don't like the fact that Brother TARIQ can raise money for his stuff. And that is exactly why people are jealous of him. Listen, you ain't gotta like him, but to be wishing death on somebody because, you know, they're been successful, and I can get why some of the whites would do it, but I think that a lot of those people are also black. And I've seen it. I know you got the Pan-African versus the FBA beef and everything like that. And I know people don't like the roasting here and there, going back and forth. But still, none of that qualifies as a death sentence. But the real reason I've always seen Brother TARIQ get hatred, you know, outside of going on, you know, some ideas or whatever. And, you know, me and TARIQ then went back and forth on some level of ideas. But as far as it being personal, that somebody wants to kill your nephew or somebody gotta die because you know people are jealous of the fact that the man does what he does, whose fault is that? And I'm telling you, that is the real reason why people will hate you. I've had people on this platform, man, I have helped, and Kevin has helped, man. When they die, they laugh. You know, we hope you die next. That's how sick people are. You know, but what they don't understand is when TARIQ Nasheed raised that kind of money to do what he was doing at the Hidden History Museum, that was evidence that black people could do it anywhere in the world. That wasn't nothing to hate on. That was something to be excited about. You even saw Dr. Umar hating on it. You know, and black people really gotta stop, you know, being so angry and so upset. White supremacists, yeah, I can see them doing it. But I'm gonna tell you who the main folks are in our community doing it. It be us. We hate to see somebody doing well. I'm telling you, it was not white supremacists wishing death on Kevin Samuels and happy that he died. It wasn't that. It was blacks, all right? It was blacks. Whenever you see somebody doing good in the black community, it don't be white supremacists that be over there talking that. It be blacks. Whether they from the African-American community or they from the diaspora community or they the Pan-African community, all of that is hatred. And we want to find any way to, since we can't get what the person is doing, well, you know what? Let's put their family into it. Let's talk about their wife. Let's talk about their kids. You know, let's talk about some dirty secret we think we heard about them, or let's go out there and spread false hatred on them instead of dealing with a position or dealing with what they're talking about or whatever. No, let's go out there and just start doing something crazy. And what we got to stop doing is that I see a lot of people that do that all the time in pro-black circles, nonstop. You know, go out there and be reporting and doing all kind of stuff. And I'm going to tell you, man, it's sad. It's really sad. You know, his nephew, if his nephew got shot and all of that, look, we should be able to have boundaries. Let's leave that out of there. Now, the white folks, whoever is supposed to be doing that, that's one thing. But I know for a fact you will have blacks making videos saying silly things like that until it's your mama, now you're ready to fight. Until it's your son, now you're ready to fight. Until it's your daughter, you're ready to fight. Because Cynthia G is going around here sounding real humble right now since she done got kicked off of YouTube. Now she's sounding real humble. But when it was Kevin dying, you wasn't humble, you know? All of a sudden now, you out here giggling and talking nice and all feminine on these interviews. But, you know, you didn't have that same energy 3 weeks ago. Talking about dusty beta males and bandits and all that. You didn't have that energy then. But now you didn't got humble. And see, you got to watch what you say about people. You know what I mean? Some, like even me, things I done said that's wrong in the past, I'm like, hey, you know what? That was wrong. Let me apologize for that, atone for that. I don't want the energy in my life. Y'all need to stop. Whoever's doing that, I don't care how mad they make you. Somebody get shot or somebody die because they're a family member to somebody. That's low. Have some respect for yourself. So I wish his nephew, I all the best. I think we should all wish him all the best. I hope that everything works out and everything like that. But the haters gotta stop. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Scare the bell. We're out.